The death toll from yesterday's partial collapse of a 12-story condo building near Miami has risen to 4, and the number of those unaccounted for increased to 159. Authorities say more than 120 residents are safe, but warn the numbers are fluid. Meanwhile, the Champlain Towers South Condominium Association, they've already been served with a $5 million lawsuit for allegedly failing to safeguard the building's residents. Work was being done on the roof, but at this time, the cause of that collapse remains unknown. And she's been on the scene the last 24 hours watching this unfold. Joining us live once again from Surfside, Florida is Isabel Rosales with the very latest. And Isabel, this is just heartbreaking to watch. You're seeing this firsthand. What can you tell us as of right now about those who are still missing?
Yeah, it's incredibly gut-wrenching, heartbreaking, but there is hope here. Hope, duty, that is what is fueling 130-plus firefighters right now, working around the clock, 15-minute increments, trying to find more survivors. But they're not getting any sort of break from the elements, from the Florida downpours happening every couple of hours, adding to the weight of the pile of debris, to the opposite element right over here. Check this out behind me. You see that as we zoom in between the buildings, there's little puffs of smoke rising up. That is because right now there are active fires inside the building that they cannot get to, and that is creating dangerous situations from potential carbon monoxide poisoning, fumes from hazardous material, and not just that, but it's also interfering with their equipment. They use infrared technology in their attempts to find these survivors.
And we know that they have been hearing sounds, obviously, since this collapse. They can't determine exactly if it's that building moving or if it could potentially be somebody under the rubble. Have they been able to, as you've seen today, rescue anyone or find any more victims today?
Yeah, unfortunately, no. The death toll has only gone up to 4 people, 159 people unaccounted for. They are hearing noises, but no clear voices yet. If there's any relief here is that these are some of the best at what they do right here in Miami. They're often shipped out around the nation and around the globe to help out in these situations. And they're using every tool in their disposal, from dogs to cameras to listening devices that are so sensitive they can hear a clock ticking, everything at their disposal to try to find any signs of life. And I also want to tell you that the fire chief also said, tapping into his experience, he was in Haiti, and he said, do not lose hope. Please do not lose hope. We rescued a girl there, a little girl in Haiti. 8 days after the collapse of a building, it can happen again.
Wow, and FEMA is now dispatching, as we've learned, 3 urban search and rescue teams that are going to be able to assist with this ongoing search. How is that going to help in these critical days ahead, make sure that all resources are where they need to be for this harrowing effort right now?
Yeah, absolutely. The more people, the more help that they can get. This is grueling work, right? They have actually people coming from Naples, people coming from up north as well, more firefighters, more help, taking into advantage every precious second. And you've got to remember, they're carrying really heavy equipment, 80 pounds of personal protective equipment and gear. That is tiring. It's grueling. They're digging, oftentimes on their knees, on their stomach, in tight little holes. It's physically and mentally and emotionally exhausting, so more people can really help out.
And what can you tell us about these conditions? You mentioned those thunderstorms earlier. Can you tell us anything about what overnight search and rescue looks like? Is that being hampered, or are they able to work through the night as far as this goes right now?
Yeah, thank goodness they have not been hampered. We saw that day 1 earlier in the search where they had to pause because of the thunderstorms. And since then, we have seen thunderstorms. So there is a great worry there with the stability of the piles of debris and creating a dangerous situation, right? You don't want to risk lives while trying to save lives. But thank goodness they've been able to carry on in their mission here, trying to figure out answers. Where are these 159 people that are unaccounted for? And they will continue to press on until they get those answers.
And of course, those family members are now putting photos up on social media, hoping that maybe somebody has seen someone at a nearby hospital and can give them any information at all. Now, Isabel, I want to pull up some of the video for our viewers. And can you just step us through what you're seeing? Because it's hard to tell the just context of how large that pile of rubble is. But when you can see the firefighters working nearby, it really puts in perspective just how incredible this pile of debris really is. Step us through that, what you're seeing, and what makes this such a difficult search and rescue operation.
Absolutely, and they're attacking this from every avenue, right up on the ground, searching to the debris. You've probably seen videos of them with red buckets, carefully taking out the rocks, taking out the concrete, to using heavy equipment at certain points. They're there with a structural engineer telling them where they can go, where they can't go, where they need to balance it out to make sure that they are safe in that process. They are also digging underneath through tunnels, attempting to reach survivors. And what's giving them a little bit of hope here is the way that this building collapsed. It's called a pancake collapse, right? So imagine a stack of pancakes in the images here that you've been seeing. They're hoping that as they continue to dig, they're going to find air pockets and hopefully find people that are in need of their help.
Isabel Rosales reporting live from Surfside. We really appreciate this. Of course, a delicate situation, a heartbreaking situation. We just appreciate your perspective tonight. Thanks so much.